You know, it's really sad to see the Notre Dame Cathedral burn down, but is there really a point of rebuilding it when the demographic shift that is going on in France is going to lead the country to no longer be Catholic anymore, no longer be truly French? You know, like the leftists will tell you, the meaning of what France or what being French is changing. So that means that it's no longer white, it's no longer European, and it's going to be increasingly Muslim. So why to rebuild it when it's just going to be converted into a mosque eventually? And you're going to rebuild, it's going to look all nice and great, and then they're going to come in and take it over one day, just like they've done in countless other places in the past. They come in and they take over the area, and I think it was like Constantinople, and that whole church there, a huge church, mega, they turned that into a mosque. So, they're not going to keep our historical monuments around when we become a minority. They're either going to take them for their own or they're going to destroy them because they don't care about them. They don't have any historical connection to them whatsoever. They're just like more monuments of white supremacy and colonialism and bad things, right? This is what a lot of people were saying already. I think it was a Rolling Stone article. They're like, we need to not rebuild it in the image of old France, white Europeans and stuff. We need to build it in the image of new France, a multicultural France, right? With less white people. So it's going to be a church slash mosque slash Hindu temple slash something else. So it's more inclusive, right? Fuck your history. Fuck your culture. We don't care about it. We're going to come in and we're going to replace it, right? That's what is happening anyways. So don't rebuild it. Don't spend your money so these Muslims can come and take it over. And there's a lot of conspicuous shit around this burning too. Okay, there has been 875 different vandalism acts towards churches in France this year alone, and it's down from last year. It was about 1,000 different incidences. Sorry, I can't even say the word, but there was a fire last week at a historical church started by this Muslim guy. Plenty other ones, like, one had feces smeared all over it. Things are stolen from them every day. 2 churches are vandalized, but this isn't going to get a lot of attention. Not at all. They're just going to be told, we're just going to be told, why are you complaining about this church and not about the Flint, Michigan, in America? And I've heard these fucking arguments. Like, Trump said he's going to consider giving assistance, but not even amount of money. And then a lot of people, what about Flint? What about this? Oh my God, what about Puerto Rico? Right? And it's funny because, Flint, Michigan, just today was released that they're going to give $77 million to Flint. And this has been under the works since 2016 from Trump and his administration. So he's the only one that has been trying to do something with Flint and is doing something about Flint right now. So, they take our mourning of these historical buildings and they throw it back in our face and say, well, what about this? Why aren't you complaining about this? Oh, see, you care about this, just shows your white supremacy. Blah, blah, blah. Well, why don't you? Nobody cares about what's happening in Syria. It's like, what are you talking about? That's what we've been saying not to do for so long. Don't go into Syria. Get out of Syria. They're like, it's crazy, but like any type, there's no sympathy for us anymore. This is what you got to realize. If you're white, European, or anything, male, straight, there is no sympathy for you anymore, and there won't be sympathy for you in the future. When your monuments get destroyed, you will be mocked, you will be laughed at, you will be spit on. People will not give a shit about you, just like I see right now. Now, granted, there are some people that say it's horrible and it's terrible. Hopefully, they're just not just saying that. But I do see a lot of different people And, there's lots of white socialist atheist retards as well being, oh, it's because they diddled a bunch of people and this is what they get. It's karma. They diddled a bunch of kids. It's karma, blah, 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 right? And like, I'm an atheist too, but like, seriously? That's what you're going to say to a piece of history that's been around for 900 fucking years? But, the future is going to be filled with these socialist, white retard, anti-white idiots, then a bunch of Muslims that don't care about your history and your religion, and they're just going to convert that into a mosque, and then these fucking leftist idiots are going to be like chanting and saying, oh, Allah is great, right? And then like this is the future of France. And people need to wake the fuck up to it. And the fact that they said that this was an accident an hour or two after the fire started, and how they literally couldn't have known that because nobody's like in the building searching. You got to wait a couple of days or a day or so really to tell us what the cause of the fire was. But they already knew it was an accident and it was intentionally set. Even though there was this one blue checkmark guy, MP, who deleted his tweet recently and who said that it was intentionally set. And then I think BuzzFeed made an article trying to dismiss all of the speculations going on about this, saying like, oh, Paul Joseph Watson is trying to say it's all Muslims and trying to dismiss all the evidence people were bringing up to be like, well, look at this, right? And there was a bunch of Muslim people on Al Jazeera and all that, praising this, like doing all these smiley faces and whatnot. And I'm not saying all of them think this way, not all, clearly, but there is a substantial amount of people, and people are trying to say, oh, we're trying to drive up hate. Well, it's not hate, it's just showing the reality, man. It's showing the truth. It's showing the truth that all these people have no sympathy for you. You gotta understand the amount of rhetoric and propaganda these people have been fed their whole life as well about white people. And they think we're evil, man. They think we stole everything, that everything we have is through ill-gotten gains. So when they see stuff like this, they like it. They're happy. And I can show you countless examples of fucking people. This one guy like smiling. He's got like 3,000 likes and retweets. He's like, this is how I'm reacting to the Notre Dame thing and blah, blah, blah. And you see the comments. It's all talking about white supremacy and colonization and karma for this and karma for that. And, well, what about this? How come you guys don't care about this? How come we don't care about this, right? It's just another excuse for people to bring up their own grievances when we are losing something, right? When our culture is losing something, it's like, oh, well, who cares? You're a bunch of white supremacists anyways. So just wake up, people. Wake up, liberals, to the fact that nobody is going to respect your history and your culture when you are the minority, because they have a huge chip on their shoulder, a lot of people, about white people already. They think we stole everything. They think we, we're liars, we're cheats. So this is going to continue. And I have my doubts that it was an accident. There was a guy being filmed on like a balcony walking while the firefighters were shooting water on the building. And they said there was nobody on the building. Plus, there was no construction workers on site for like a couple days at the time. As well, I saw an article that said it started in the attic. But like, why was there no sprinkler system in the attic if there was? They said there was potentially electrical ran through the attic, right? Well, you know what? I'm a roofer, and I've worked on construction on government buildings and historical buildings, right? And there's historical buildings, especially one like France, they would take extra precaution. They wouldn't just jip and be like, nah, we don't really need a fucking sprinkler system here, even though we're putting a bunch of electrical that has a potential of short-circuiting and causing fires. Are you kidding me, man? They would obviously consider to likely put something in there. And if they didn't, and if that is the case, then that just shows you how fucking bad government is, how stupid they are, how they're just, going to let things like that slide for what, I don't know, the budget or something. But I highly doubt it. I think it was, even me saying that maybe somebody said it is probably going to get this thing banned, right? My either the video taken down, or I'm going to get a community guideline strike, because this is another one of these events that YouTube and Twitter and whatnot is cracking down on, right? There's been a lot of these events that happen, and they're always really conspicuous because anytime somebody talks about it, like I've had plenty of videos like this. I talked about Jesse Smollett that was put in limited state. It's like there's some things they just don't want you to talk about. And they know that if this was a Muslim that did this, that burnt down another French church, that desecrated another French church, and Notre Dame, one of the most famous ones in history for all that matter, this would enrage the French people, and they would vote for nationalist parties, and they would see more of a turn towards populism. So they have a huge incentive to keep this under wraps. But once again, we'll see. Maybe some more information will come out. Maybe it was completely an accident, but I have my doubts. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.